What's good? What's good?
What's
Welcome
up?
to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I'm Antoine.
And I'm still James.
And we are doing a spoiler discussion on The Matrix Resurrections. Oh, is it Resurrection?
Resurrections.
Oh, that's funny. It say Resurrection right there, and it say Resurrections right there. Well, anyway.
Whichever.
Yeah, we're going to do a spoiler discussion on that because we did our review. Check our review, non-spoiler review on the channel if you don't want to be spoiled, but you want to hear some people talk about it for 40 minutes. Check that out. But no, seriously. This is spoiler, so we're going to go ham, and we're going to talk about this plot, stuff that we had a problem with, stuff that we liked, stuff we didn't like, whatever. So let's just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're going to go chronologically with this because
Okay.
I'm looking like, okay, starting off the beginning.
So that opening shot.
Okay, so they basically did the same shot from the original, right?
Yeah.
Where the cops come in,
Cops come in. You got
Trinity on the
Trinity
computer,
on the computer.
and they come in and say, we can handle one girl. No, your man is already dead.
In fact, your men are already dead.
Right. So instead of Agent Smith, they have, it's Agent Smith, but it's
Yeah.
Yahya Martin in there.
I
as,
forget what
Agent
the
Smith.
agents called him.
Smith.
They did. Oh, the other one was Agent White. And he
Yeah.
was Agent Smith.
Right.
Right.
And I'm looking like, okay, but we get some answers for that later that I guess Neo
Had built that.
made a program and put it in the actual Matrix. How did he do that?
I don't know.
Because he was doing it on his computer, right?
Yeah.
But he somehow put it in the Matrix.
I mean, I guess technically speaking, in as much as the Matrix is a simulation and a video game
You're right.
is a simulation, he wrote
He wrote that code.
he wrote the code, so the code is compatible with the Matrix.
Mm,
So I guess he managed to get it indexed in the Matrix.
right,
So it was accessible to anyone who was entering the Matrix.
right. But he didn't know how he did that.
Yeah.
But see, okay, so why he bring him in as an agent though? So basically, this is what he did. Hugo Weaving and Lawrence Fishburne said, "I'm not coming back." So they took Agent Smith and Morpheus and they
Well,
put them together.
Well,
That's
they,
what he did.
they took some Agent Smith and some Morpheus and put them together.
That's what I said. They basically added they took two
Well, no,
personalities.
because I'm saying because Smith comes back later.
Oh yeah, but that was the actual.
That
That
was-
was the actual
yeah,
Smith coming
the
back
actual
later.
Smith, yeah.
This was the Smith that Neo made.
Yeah.
So Neo made a character in the Matrix. He made a program that was blend with Agent Smith and Morpheus.
Yeah. Which I still don't
Which
understand
was
the
Yahya
reason
character.
for that.
Hmm?
I just still don't
He said the reason, but he said it. So once Morpheus ran into him, he said, "You made me so I can wake you up."
No, I get why he made him. I don't get why he made him an Agent Smith.
Because it was something he said something too about he did it because he figured that there was two people that helped him on his journey.
Okay.
So like I mean, even though Agent Smith was an antagonist, but he was like,
he's-
I
he was-
wouldn't
he still
I
got
wouldn't be
him
who
there.
I am if
Yeah.
Agent Smith wasn't so relentless
Yeah.
on trying to get me.
All right, yeah.
It's like an old coach that you just hate, but you good because of that
He-
coach.
He got you. He got you to play the game.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So right. So I mean, they did that scene. So that was a little different because we saw from, and I guess Bugs and we found out now later that black dude. So black dude in the chair. It's the same black dude in the chair in every movie, and he was and he was just a pro. He was kind of like he's not there. He's still out the Matrix,
Yeah.
but he can actually show up.
He's just
So he don't have no plugs on him?
I don't know.
Because remember that was how the other guys they didn't.
Yeah.
The other black dudes were born in a free city. They ain't got plugs in them because they was born in the
Right.
city.
Right.
Anyway, somehow she was kind of like watching this play out, and I don't understand exactly how did they go back.
So they went in there because they found the simulation that Neo had made, and they were trying to figure out what it was for. And I guess because
So they went in the simulation that they went into the game then, right?
well, because it's not like running in the game. It's just like I think Neo thought he was just running a program to test some stuff, but
So
what
they
he was
got in
actually
that program.
they got in that program.
Okay, I got you. Oh, okay, right. So that's how he got out,
Yeah.
because they went in, and then he came out with them. Then, or
So,
he
like-
learned how to get out.
So like they came. So he found out that something had gone wrong because the program that he had made of Agent Smith Morpheus
You're right.
had gotten out of the program he wrote for it.
Mm.
And so then they, realizing where Smith had come from, that's how they found Neo.
Right. Okay, I get it now because
Smith
he was
Morpheus.
in the Matrix. He was in the Matrix, and he made another Matrix in
Yeah.
the Matrix.
Yeah. Well, like I guess because his was so much more limited because it was basically just a couple rooms.
Right.
But
Right.
and then that's where we got Agent Morpheus Smith.
Right. And they was able to enter the Matrix that he made in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Are y'all with us so far?
If I remembered any of the big words from the architect scene, I'd start throwing them out right now.
Man, hey, I went to sleep on that. I don't remember what the hell architect said. So okay, I know people's like this. What the hell these dudes talking about? You gotta watch the movie. So anyway,
You had to be there.
no. So now we get to meet. We met the new Morpheus, and the Morpheus figured out. I don't know. You know, I'm not just an agent. So he figured out how to be. I guess he made him sentient or whatever,
Yeah.
and so now he's like, okay, I'm not just a program. He came out. So he actually came out of the Matrix he made and came into that Matrix and was talking to him. He's like, oh, I'm crazy. And part of that was they kept telling Neo that he was just hallucinating, take your
So, like,
pills.
I did enjoy that bit, like as a narrative device, like because it's so effective, right? It's like they've convinced him he's a game developer who had a psychotic break and thought the game was real,
yeah.
and so it's like
So every time something feel real, they
Yeah.
just tell him it's all
Like-
in his mind.
and so like they make him focus on like, which is an actual like technique for like anxiety and panic attacks. Is like you have to ground yourself by reminding yourself of what's real around you.
Yeah.
And so they basically use that to say, look, I mean, are you telling me that this chair doesn't feel weird? The chair feels real, right?
Right.
So you must be in reality right now, right? So it's like you had a psychotic break. You've had some flashes of that, but hey, so long as you take your pills,
Right.
and you remember what's real, you'll be fine.
Take the blue pills.
Take the
not
blue
the
pills.
red pills.
It's like I was almost annoyed that it was literally the blue pills was his prescription, his antipsychotics.
Yeah. But no, so from there on though, once we meet Bugs, we know, okay, well, we know the Matrix is real, right? Because we got the guy in the chair, and we got another person in the Matrix or whatever. But this is the thing. Once they start to, we need to wake him up. We need to find Neo. We found Neo, and we got to wake him up. Then it start all playing out like the original movie.
They go pick him up. They clean him up, get him reacclimated.
Yeah, same way,
Then they put him back in the Matrix to get him trained up.
Right. And that made me so mad because it like that. Just even at the scene where he had to escape from his job, that played out the same way. And he even got caught on his trying to get out of there. He got caught.
Yeah.
Because they told him to jump, and he was like, "Hell no!" I remember that. I forget remember that.
He wouldn't jump.
Right. So that played out the same way or whatever. And I'm looking like, man. But see, what was making me even more mad, where when they take him somewhere, where we at? Where we at? Like his whole, I guess he's the artist avatar, and he always just gotta, what's going? We're in Tokyo. Oh, we.
Now, I also
the
want to
same
make
thing
it,
as
I also
person.
want to make it clear we make this seem like this is like a couple minutes between these scenes. There's about 15 to 20 minutes between us finding out what's going on and Neo getting out of the Matrix. It's like 20, 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And so we just watch him struggle with the idea of, is the Matrix real or am I going crazy?
What's making me mad is we've been through this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been through 3 movies with this dude.
It's like we understand.
And now we got to
what's
watch
going
him
on
learn
it.
this all over again.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
And you know, it's kind of like, it's like when you're watching a show and every season they had to reestablish the status
So
quo.
if your main character loses memory, and now we got to go through the stuff that we've been through.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
like,
don't need to see
it's
this
like
again.
I don't need to see. It's like I already know what the score is. You don't need to show me him learning
But-
what the score is.
Right, and the thing is, that's the same kind of scenes where they'll go somewhere where they be like, "Hey, let's," and then they'll walk into another room, they in somewhere else,
Yeah.
and they done it in the first one. We don't need to see that. So okay, we're doing all that, and like you said, out of the Matrix, here meet the crew. Same goddamn crew that's in the other movies, man. And, you know, they pulled a little spike out their head, and next thing you know, this is such and such, this is such and such. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, this, I don't know. I don't want to know your name. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna be irrelevant anyway if you don't die.
Because like I would love to see their movie.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see this movie. Because like I'm not saying that none of them are. I'm interested in what all of their deals is, but there's no room in this movie for them.
Right, and the thing is, because the movie was for real, Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss movie. But to tell the truth, Buzz was the main character.
Yeah.
But everything pointed to those characters, and it was all about getting them two back together.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why that was a big deal, but it was so they was like saying, so once Neo got woken up, he said, I saw Trinity,
Like she was
her
there.
pod, and I want to get her.
Yeah.
And then you had your girl, Jada Pinkett, in old people makeup. How you think her old people makeup look? It look like crap. But she just looked ashy.
It got the point across, I guess. I'm like, but like, I get tired of the old people makeup just because, like, if you're not gonna commit, what's the point?
I mean, they committed, but it just looked like crap.
Because it's like,
How old is she supposed to be? She supposed to be like
So
90, right?
had to be.
Because it's supposed to be 60 years. We didn't
Yeah.
mention. It's supposed to be 60 years in the future.
Yeah.
And basically what it was, Neo's been in the Matrix for 60 years. So I guess you don't age that much in them pods, huh?
I guess with them keeping your body at like I guess somewhere around baseline, and I guess they're doing something to keep. They didn't
Not to
explain.
mention-
They didn't explain this.
Not to
very
mention,
well.
this is spoiler. They said they redid. They
redid the Matrix.
They redid his bodies though.
Oh, that's right. They did rebuild his body.
Explain
Their
that.
bodies. I cannot.
Because the way they did that, I'm looking like.
So is he?
So
even
did they
human?
both die in the end of 3?
I think she got injured, and then he goes on to make the truce with Deus Ex Machina. So like they crash. She's been like impaled by something, and he continues.
So
on.
did they? Man, dude, when they were showing them, it looked like they was using nano. Was they using nano machines or something?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what it looked like.
Because they were showing like they showed their brain and
Yeah.
they show like them. What are y'all doing? Y'all make flesh now?
Yeah.
What do you? What? You can just make people? You can? Can
If
they
that's
just
the
make
case-
people?
If that's the case, what are we doing here?
Right. No. So y'all should just, because wasn't people born at some point,
Yeah.
and then they was like harvest. What was that original deal, right?
I don't know.
From the original,
I think they.
was people being born?
I don't remember
'Cause they was
because I
saying-
feel like there was a shot of that, right?
Right. Because remember they was showing, they was like harvesting people,
Yeah.
but how was they reproducing them?
I don't know. I'm scared. I
Because
don't
they
like
was
this.
all in pods, and they showed a baby,
Yeah.
which kudos to whatever baby that they let put in that shot.
Yeah.
They had a baby, and they had all the liquid going in there, and they
Yeah.
had all the tubes in them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't really think about it. How was the babies being made?
Yeah.
Like, did they have people mate and then reproduce?
I
Still
don't-
take 9 months.
I don't know, and I don't particularly want to.
Okay.
Um,
Point is, we think they died in the third one, and they just made them. Like they just said,
They
"Here,
just-
we just made them."
yeah.
We the Matrix said. So they got a new architect, right? It was Neil Patrick Harris' character.
Well, the analyst.
He's basically the
He
he
serves-
makes the new Matrix.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this new Matrix, he's running it, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, he basically was his therapist or something.
Yeah.
But he was running the new Matrix, and he was like saying that, yeah, we made you, and we needed to make her too because you
Like,
needed
so, like,
her or something.
It's
I know this is all confusing.
There's a word that I'm forgetting for how they did this, but basically they says like, look, if you don't have her, you'll mess everything up looking for her. If she doesn't have you, she'll mess everything up looking for you. We clearly can't have you both together because then you'll mess this whole thing up and get out.
Yeah, I don't even remember why he brought him back anyway.
So it's like for whatever reason they're both so tied into the Matrix that they're both necessary.
Okay, right.
So it's like, and he has to keep them just close enough to each other that they don't go looking for each other,
yeah,
but not like close enough to actually like get together and work their way out of the Matrix.
right.
There's actually some cool stuff that goes into like his explanation of how the Matrix works now. Where it's like, rather than like keeping people at their most docile, right,
Right.
which is what the original was, it's like no one really wanted for anything, but you didn't have everything you needed.
Right.
So it's like it keeps you just in this state where it's like, well, I guess I got to get up and go to work, but like he's rejigged it, so it's like, no, I've got you people on a thin wire right now, like dangling like precariously between hope and desperation. That much emotion keeps y'all pumping out way more energy.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the Matrix is started back, and this is like at the end of the third one, which kind of like the architect said, we let a handful of y'all survive, and we do the shit over again. So he told us that. He told us that in the second movie.
What was it? It's like there had been 6 iterations of the Matrix.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's like this ain't the first time.
Right.
We know how to
We
run
let
this.
enough of y'all to make a whole nother city, and y'all do this stuff again. Y'all think y'all can rise up, and we take y'all out
every
and
time we
let
leave
y'all do it
one
again.
city. Yeah. It's like, but it's even when they first go to the city in this one, I'm like,
Let's talk a little bit about that.
yeah, it's like, how is this not? They called it Io, but I'm like, this is just Zion.
Right.
It's a prettier version of Zion.
It's okay. So Zion, I didn't hear an explanation what happened to Zion. Right?
No, they never said.
And they got a statue of Morpheus.
Yeah.
It just
Like,
well, because he had no. They did say he said what happened to Zion. She's like, let me show you. And then when they showed the statue of Morpheus,
they never
she
said
told
what
him.
happened.
Oh,
to
they didn't
Zion. They said in the wake of the truce he set with Deus Ex Machina, the machines turned on each other. And okay, and which I don't know how that's a thing,
Right.
Like it's not like they all had personalities. Like that was
Right. They just do what it's like drones.
They do what they're told. But I suppose like what it is, it was I don't even know like
But see, the whole thing was they have become saints.
it was the it was the analysts' machines going against Deus Ex Machina and the architects' machines.
Which one's the analyst?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, but see, look, what about the allies?
Yeah.
Where did them come from?
So they're programs. They're not like that's the thing. The machines themselves are not programs. They're just platforms running code. They're not sentient per se.
So the program's sentient.
The programs are sentient. So like there are now sentient machines now.
So they got machines like the Sentinels were working with them
yeah.
in this one.
Yeah. And then some that are like super advanced and almost organic that they never explain.
Right.
I don't remember the
that's
name
why.
of it.
Okay,
but
so it was. I'm guessing only way you can see them, they programs in the Matrix, but they can form a
Yeah.
physical form outside the Matrix that's not
It's like
solid is what.
magnetic nanoparticles or something. I forget
Right.
what the explanation is. It's some sci-fi BS.
So, okay,
It's not
right.
important.
It's so inconsistent.
But then
to me.
there's one, and it's like,
But look, they did it with Morpheus, right?
Yeah.
And then they showed him breathing and all that. And because I noticed he was breathing kind of heavy, and then I was like, should he be breathing? I guess that's what he look. That's what he's doing inside.
in a way, I kind of can give them a pass for that, because since breathing is autonomic, if part of his program is replicating breathing,
Okay.
he doesn't have a choice on whether.
Okay. Explain this then. 1 minute he can dissipate into pellets or whatever. Next minute he can't jump across the thing, and I'm looking like, why is he beholden to gravity when he's not even solid?
I think
he should just be able to.
I don't think he can do that when he's cohesive, I think is what they were trying to do there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's absolutely what it was. I think they just basically.
1 minute he can be like the Sandman.
Yeah.
The next minute he's just got the same limitations of any human.
I think what they should.
That's too inconsistent.
I
to
agree.
me.
What they should have done was just have him Sandman his way over the gap. There was no reason for him to
Because
be
in the next
jumping.
scene, you had him Sandman his way into a vent.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to jump that gap if he
And
can
barely
do
be
that.
able to make it.
I think what it is, they had him like, because when he's cohesive, I'm assuming he's doing like some mocap, and so they can't have him be cohesively Yaya and be like float.
You talking about the limitations of the production. I mean, I'm talking about in the
I know
in
what
the
you're
story.
saying. What I'm talking about is the limitation of the imaginations of the people running the production. Because what they should have said was, okay, we've got him here. He should just float into particles over here. Rather than do that, they said, well, we've already got Yaya rigged up. I guess we have him jump a gap.
Whatever. They should have thought about that.
They should have. Bro, you've seen this movie. There's a lot they should have thought
Yeah.
about.
Okay. So we moving too slow
Yeah.
because after that, their whole plan is to get Trinity back to. I don't know what they want to do with that shit.
I don't know. They're
like,
gonna,
well, I mean, I know he wanted Trinity because that's his girlfriend.
yeah, they're going to
but other
pull
than
some
that,
last-minute miracle out their ass.
they made a big deal about getting waking up Trinity,
Yeah.
but I can't even remember why though.
Yeah.
Other than that's his girlfriend.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was ever any.
I guess that was something like when they together, it's supposed to do something with the
something.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Exactly. Says like do something.
Do something.
But we don't know what.
Yeah, like, and again, this movie clearly they didn't have this plot worked out.
Yeah, dude.
Like, because the original trilogy had its own Bible.
And,
Okay,
right.
This got nothing.
And then we just got into some action scenes, and we talked about that on the on the review. That it was just some plain action.
Yeah,
And we had an old friend from part 2, the French dude, right?
yeah.
So I
Merovingian.
swear I did not know who the hell that
Yeah,
was.
I actually, when I looked that up, apparently the reason he's called the Merovingian is because that's the name of a Frankish dynasty. So it's not quite French, but
Whatever.
But he's
spoke
French enough. And it's
And
just
I didn't
like,
know what the hell
he
he
just
was
comes
saying.
back, talks a lot of shit in French, and then gets his ass beat.
But look, it's
Look,
that
they
scene was so shitty.
No, they even give him, "This isn't over."
That scene was so shitty because I said they look like the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, and they just a whole bunch of dudes in rags that get him. I'm like, what are we doing? What is this?
They come in like the homeless mafia,
Yeah,
and like you don't like until they like. Honestly, it took me a minute to realize why they were there.
yeah.
It's like Agent Smith.
So we didn't mention Agent
Yeah.
Smith woke up in his boss, which is, I don't know the actor name, but he reminds me of
Actually,
he reminds me of a old boy that played in Princess Bride.
Carrie Ellis?
Yes, he reminds me of a young version of him.
I can. You know what? I can see that. I can see that. His
And,
name is Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, he seemed familiar though, but he's like the young yuppie version of Agent Smith. He should be called Smith Jr. That's what I said.
AJ, you said, wasn't it? You called him AJ before.
Yeah. Because
like-
he just
Like also, there's something so weird about the way he plays Smith, because like Hugo Weaving.
He didn't play it like Hugo Weaving.
Because like
He
Hugo
kinda did
Weaving
his-
played him as something other than human.
Yeah.
And this guy's Agent Smith feels like like your asshole boss who asked you to work over on Saturday.
That's younger than you.
That's younger than. That's exactly what he feels like. Hey, listen, bud, we're all working here, okay?
Yeah.
But like, I gotta go have dinner with some models. I'm gonna need you to stay over tonight, all right?
Right.
We're all in this together, bud. Like he's that asshole.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
Like, then you have Hugo Weaving Smith, who is just like, I wonder.
Yeah, he can't do it. No, it's
Like,
not.
he-
It's
he
not
ain't-
even
like,
comparison.
even when he tries to give his Mr. Anderson, it's like, what?
Mr. You know, I'd have been cool if they would have said, "Call me Junior," only because long as we just establish he's not Agent Smith,
Yeah.
he's another version of basically his son
Yeah.
in some way,
'Cause, like, that's
and
the-
he's not as good.
Like,
I'll be cool with that.
He's Smith in name only. Like they tell you
Yeah.
he's Agent Smith, but like if they could have gotten an actor who could at least give you the idea of, I think that's supposed to be Agent Smith,
Right.
but you never get that.
But he's like, he should have been like, yeah, that's my dad, if you want to say that. I'm the offspring of that
Like
program.
like if you had just said like Smith was outdated, I'm Smith 2.0.
Yeah.
Like
Smith Jr., if you will.
he looks more like a Smith the second.
Yeah, but the kind that is like, I can see Smith Sr. like, "Ugh, this dude. Like the
Yeah.
annoying son that
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to please his dad, but his dad just always just like, just go over there, son.
What's this I hear about you using my name? Yeah.
So anyway, no, the Agent Smith was like, didn't really work for me.
No.
He
he just feels like some like
they could have done it
corporate-
with the whole movie
he
without
just
him.
feels like a corporate asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, once we get all our pieces, the whole thing is about
Yeah. So we get the reveal of the true bad guy,
Which is-
the analyst.
right,
played by
basically
Neil
another
Patrick
version of the
Harris.
architect.
Yeah, and like he again, there's so much. This is all coded for like Hollywood BS, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when he's giving his whole spiel on the way the Matrix works now, it's like, nah, the old Matrix was all words and equations. Nah. It's look, it doesn't matter. Facts don't matter. Y'all don't care about facts. You care about feelings.
Right.
It's like
Fiction is what you want.
Yeah, it's like he's that guy when you're like, so we thought for this story we'd have this guy struggling with cancer. It's like, no, cancer's boring. Cancer's boring. What if he fought some aliens? And he got an alien virus. but this is a story about my dad dying from cancer. No one cares about that shit. Like he's that guy. Like and that everything in this movie is just, you know what? Let me tell you about the BS that we talk about that I get talked to. That's what this movie is. This is Lana Wachowski talking about like, let me tell y'all all the dumb stuff Hollywood executives want me to make a movie about.
Yeah, most likely.
That's what this movie is. But yeah, so we get to his reveal and his whole thing. Like he even works part of one of the lines they have early in the movie when they're trying to come up with the new Matrix for the
Bullet time.
bullet time. It's like we need the new bullet
That
time.
was used to death. That was parodied.
Oh man.
Everybody tried to do their version.
Like, cause I remember even like people used to get like gotcha in interviews. So it's like bullet time. No, it's not like bullet time. Really, it's more like
Okay, so they
Yeah.
try to do something It looks so bad to me. They
the
try
reverse
to
bullet time.
where they basically slow time down, but when he moved, it seemed to be, I guess he moved faster, so it was kind of like they tried to do like a little blur
Yeah.
or something, but it looked kind of like a cheap effect.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
Well, like one, they didn't do it well. I get what they were going for was like he's supposed to be like trying to move fast, and then everything is slowed down.
Everything's moving so slow, and he's moving in regular motion.
Yeah.
But when he do something that kind of quick, it'll be giving it like a little blur.
They give it the motion blur, and it's like
It just didn't come across.
It doesn't fit.
My eyes didn't pick it up right.
Yeah. Well, because
It
that's the
look-
problem is like when he's just walking in those scenes and everyone else is moving super slow,
Right.
and you don't get the feeling he's moving fast. It just feels like everyone's moving slow. So then to stack onto that this motion blur like he's moving super quick, but he's still not moving fast.
But see, it could work, but if something about the way it looked, the effect just didn't work for me.
Because like I think that's what
In
it is.
concept,
like,
it works.
they
but
try
it
to
didn't
give you
come
the
across right.
it's when they try to stack the two effects that it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
If you had given us the idea, oh, he's moving fast and that's why everything feels slow,
Mm-hmm.
then when he moves quickly, the motion blur plays off. But when he moves quickly in this, it doesn't. Like there's one shot where he feels like he's moving quickly, and it's like this really insubstantial blurring
Yeah.
where it feels like he's not really there.
So it's like almost like where they did it better was
Smith did it better.
Was that?
Smith did it better.
No, well, I was gonna say where,
mean,
where
in
they
the
did
original.
that kind of the concept where they did it a little bit. Well, you could say in X-Men with Quicksilver, where
I mean, that's the gold
everybody's
standard
and
now,
then
though. So.
right, or you can even go back to Smallville when they used to do that little trick in
Yeah.
Smallville
Yeah.
back in 2000, and I was like, it's just not working.
Because
in
like
here.
I look at what they tried to do in this one, I'm reminded of the way the agents used their super speed in the original Matrix.
Yeah,
But even then, like I thought
it was in regular. It was in regular time.
It was in
though.
regular time, but also one thing that they did really well was like their whole body didn't blur away, so their legs were always stationary,
Yeah,
and they would bend their torsos at super speed.
yeah,
And so you got the idea of this person is definitely still grounded in this shot, and isolating parts of their body in super speed. But his whole body just blurs, and you can't tell what he's doing. You just know that he's moving.
yeah. It didn't work to me. I didn't like that effect.
No.
And I was like, if this is your money shot, you just not, it's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, this was your last cool thing to show, and it was like, oh,
You blew it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's kind of this whole movie, though. So.
yeah, right. And I was like, I wasn't feeling none of that, man.
Yeah.
And but okay, so the last thing they did was the part where we saw he jumped off the roof, and we was like, we know he's gonna fly. We know he's gonna
Yeah.
fly but he didn't fly. They had Trinity fly
Yeah.
instead of him. Well, how'd you like that?
Whatever. I mean, because like at the end of the day, I don't care how the sausage.
I
gets
felt
made, right?
like all of them can do what Neo could have done.
Because like I feel like that was kind of what they were going for by the end of the original trilogy, right?
Dude, so if you remember the first movie when they saved him, they saved Morpheus with the helicopter and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Everything that Neo was doing, they could do.
Yeah.
And then Morpheus said to Neo, "Now do you believe?" I'm like, not really, because he didn't do nothing y'all couldn't do.
Because like that's the
Matter
thing,
of fact,
right?
Trinity was kicking ass way
Yeah,
more
as far-
than he
like,
was.
All the bullet time
in the first
stuff,
movie.
the bullet time and the jumping super far distances, everyone was doing stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying,
So
right?
it's like the only thing was like at the
they
end of
just
the first
never
one,
they didn't do the they
Yeah.
didn't dodge bullets yet.
they didn't dodge bullets yet.
Right, is that
Yeah.
eventually I think they could have got that.
Yeah. And
The
it's like,
flying
and then
stuff.
he did the flying stuff, and like by the end of it, the only thing that was special was the way he interfaced directly with the code.
Yeah.
Because like if you remember the third one, after he gets blinded fighting old dude that got took over by Smith
Yeah.
on the ship, he could see code in the real world,
Yeah,
which I still don't fucking get. It's whatever. It's almost like it's all a simulation. Anyways.
But no, Trinity can fly and do all the stuff that he could do now. And I was like, yeah, it's about time. Because I
Yeah.
felt like he never was special. I felt like they should be able to do this too.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Because like I feel like that's kind of the point. Is like no, all this stuff about the one and all this
Yeah.
like anybody could have been the one. It's just that no one believed they were the one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then they kind of did this the little discussion with the analyst at the end. He did crack me up when he was like, what did he say? You was he said, yeah, you. Oh, when she was mad that he made her name Tiff.
Tiffany.
And he said, if you didn't like it so much, why did you behave like a good bitch that you are? So shit he
Like
said.
if you didn't like it, why'd you come to heel like such a good bitch? Like,
Right.
I'm like, wow,
Wow.
wow.
I mean, she did kick his face almost off with
Yeah.
her, but Yeah, I mean, you had to be, you got to be expecting to get punched
Yeah.
after you say something like that to
It's
somebody.
like I think this is the most horrible character Neil Patrick Harris has ever played.
Yeah.
But like, goddamn.
Yeah.
And then he even looks at Neil's like, dude, can't you control her?
I know. It's like, really? You get another hit for saying that.
Oh man.
But no,
And then they both fly off.
yeah, I know.
They do their little tandem Superman thing.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, so that is the Matrix spoiler discussion. Sorry if we just start talking random stuff in this way. We usually follow the pattern of the
we usually
movie.
try to like just move through it chronologically, but there's like so much BS in this
I
movie.
know. So yeah, this is our spoiler discussion, and if you enjoyed that, if you just wanted to hear random talks about this movie, you gonna like our stuff.
If you want like the in-depth like analytical breakdown of the Matrix, like the type that used to come out every couple.
No, what you about to say?
You weren't going to get it on this one, not from us. But it's
Because
like,
we was just already, our brains were scrambled
yeah,
from talking about it on the regular
like
review.
trying to come up with a way to talk about this movie without spoiling anything. First of all,
I know.
and then like
Now we can spoil it. Now we just talking all random.
like
and
just
shit.
because like we was just skirting around talking about this bit, so now
Yeah.
we still want to talk about this. So
We somewhat stayed chronologically, but
We
whatever.
tried.
We
We
tried.
tried.
We gave you something. I'm sure you got something out of that.
look, I can guarantee you the movie won't make as much sense as what we just did. So take what you can, take it or leave it, man.
Yes. All right. So
Preferably take it.
yeah, we gonna be out here. If anybody's still watching, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get alerts every time we post new videos or if we live stream.
Indeed, and if you like what you've seen here today, hit that thumbs up, and lets us know that we're doing something that y'all want to see more of. And you know what? Go ahead, drop down in the comments below. Tell us what the most ridiculous thing you thought was in this movie was.
Yes, sir. We out here.
Peace, y'all.
Hey.
You know what?